Hey, young world. Kind of happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, the 28th. Look, y'all. I just thought I'd jump on and say, hey, August is coming to an end, and you know your girl likes to celebrate all month long. So, anyway, August was a great month. Leo season was fantastic. I can't complain at all about how it went. I'm actually having one more gathering this weekend for, said celebration. I'm not gonna make it all about me, y'all. I'm not. But it's hard not to, because that's what Leos do. But yeah, it's just a little lunch to get the birthday people of the month together. And I think because it's so far at the end of the month, we may include, those Virgos off in there too. So I'm looking forward to it. My daughter called me yesterday, my oldest daughter. And she said, Mom, your birthday gift came in. She said, I didn't expect for it to take too long. But one thing I will say about me is that I don't ask for stuff. Like, I'm not one who's going to say, I want this for my birthday, or I want that. I just don't ask for stuff. And if people reach out to me and ask me, what is it that I want for my birthday, it's really hard for me to answer those questions, because I feel like I have everything. I feel like I have peace. I feel like I have love. I'm just at a point in my life where I'm just overwhelmed with happiness. So as long as I have like the right people in my corner, I'm Gucci. You know what I'm saying? The whole tangible things that you have to have, touch, feel, gifts, all that kind of stuff. Right now, it's just not that important to me. But around my daughter's birthday, not my daughter's, around my granddaughter's birthday, when we was taking my granddaughter to the Cheesecake Factory, my daughter had mentioned, and I should have caught on in, but I never, ever catch on. She was like, Mom always said she wanted some of those binoculars, and I was like, no, I've always wanted a telescope, because I love looking at the sky, and looking at the stars, and just looking up. I just love it. So I mentioned that, and not thinking anything of it. It was just thrown out there. So she calls me yesterday, and she said, Mom, your gift came in. And I was like, what gift? And she says, what is it that you've always wanted, but you've never gotten for yourself? And typically, y'all, when I say I want something, especially if I'm resonating on it, if I say I want it and it's processing through my mind over and over and over again, you best believe that I'm gonna have it. It's coming to fruition, honey. It's gonna happen. So I don't know. I think that the reason why I put this on the back burner for so long was because it was just not a priority for me. So I was like, oh, it's just something that I'll get eventually, but it's not a priority for me. So anyway, when she said that she got me a telescope, I was on the phone with her and I just started crying. I mean, the smallest things hit my emotions, and I always tell people it's the small things. Like, you don't have to go out the way, and it's just thinking of me. Just think of me. Just see how I'm doing. See how I'm feeling. You know what I mean? Those type of things are the things that make me happy. And when I tell people that, they kind of like look at me because I guess they look at me and they think, oh, you look bougie. Okay, I may look like this sometimes, but on the real, I'm a very simple person. You know what I'm saying? I think that people just, let's just say, don't read a book by its cover. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, when she told me that she got me that, I just started crying. And then I had to suck it up real quick because I didn't want her to realize that, I was emotional because she don't need to, she don't need to recognize those things. But I don't know. I'm sharing all this to say that sometimes it's people, and your girl always got a story, I always got a punchline. So here we go. Sometimes as people, we expect so much more from others that we are not able or willing to give ourselves. And I just think it's important to think about what is it that you're looking for in other people? And is that something that you're willing to give yourself? If it's not something you're willing to give yourself, you shouldn't be looking for it in other people. You shouldn't be expecting it to come from other people. You just shouldn't. It's unfair. It's kind of like when people ask, would you date yourself? You know what I mean? And there was a time in my life when I was like, shit, I ain't finna do this no more. The girl is done. I'm not finna be bothered. I just ain't finna do it, right? But it goes back to that question of, like, would you date yourself? Like, if you was just to put yourself out there and look at you through a mirror with all your flaws, is that someone who you would want to kick it with? And when I look at myself, I be like, yes, honey. Yeah! Because y'all know how I feel about myself. And I feel like everybody should feel that way about themselves. Like, you should truly be able to look at yourself and say, yeah, if that was a person of the opposite sex, or, hey, if you into the same sex, if that's a person that I could really feel, or do I really like that person? Would you date yourself? Can you give what you expect from other people? Or are you just expecting too much? I mean, that's a question to ask yourself for real, because I think it's unfair, it's unkind, it's unjust to expect more than what you're willing to give. So anyway, y'all, that was just on the top of my head. I like to drop a little gems here and there. So I did. Anyway, hopefully I can get a little footage from the lunch that we have this weekend. And I also I need to do some yard work. I actually need to get into my front yard. Y'all know what I'm sad about? One of my trees is turning brown already, and it made me emotional. So whenever I feel like I'm unbalanced or I'm not together or whatever, because y'all know I'm just a little earthy spiritual person. Now that I'm finding myself, I always talk about grounding. Like, I talk about it with my children, friends who are going through things, and I'm like, have you considered grounding yourself? And in all honesty, grounding yourself is like getting connected with nature. So when it comes to my trees and my plants and my flowers and all the things that are around me, if they're not happy, it makes me very sad. And one of my trees are turning brown, and I'm like, I feel like it's a little too early for that to be happening. But I will say, over the past 2 weeks, Texas has been in triple digits, and I think that triple digits may have affected it a little bit, kind of made it sad a bit, you know what I mean? And I don't know, I feel like I'm glad that now we're getting into autumn. I don't know exactly when autumn starts. Maybe you guys can tell me, but it's gonna get cooler. Maybe it'll come out of its shock, but I'm hoping next year it blooms like it's supposed to bloom. You know what I mean? But anyway, I am going to get offline now. If I do something in my yard, I will show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. And then I will try to get some footage from this weekend's luncheon. So I will get with you guys soon.